Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 51 of the Elite City Podcast.
Is it 51? I think it's 50.
50?
I think.
Or it's 50. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's 50.
I couldn't remember. It's 50.
It's 50.
Thank you.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
Wow. Ahead of myself.
I really love the professionalism of these podcasts, by the way. Just want to say.
Hey, I usually don't know what number it is, so I don't say any. So I did go for it, at least. I did. Oh, hey, I don't care. It's all good. Sometimes you swing and miss. It doesn't matter, you know.
There you go.
They're not all home runs.
You took your shot.
Yeah, and failed, but whatevs.
Live and learn.
Live and learn. Anyways, at Elite City Pod everywhere on social media.
Yes.
Please like, subscribe, comment. That all helps. Retweet if you see us on Twitter. I mean, Twitter's trash now, but if you see it,
if anybody still sees anyone on Twitter, yes.
Yes, yeah. Please let it be known. Let it be known. Spread the word.
Yes, indeed.
Anyways, we had pretty good episode of Dynamite this week.
Yeah, we did. It's exciting. Just lots of surprises too.
I'm still in shock about one that we'll get to.
Yes, definitely.
But boy, did they set the bar high. The show opened with Orange Cassidy and Bandido for the International Championship. I almost called it the All Atlantic. I forget they changed the name. This match was incredible.
Yeah, really good match for sure. And I really in general like Orange Cassidy's title reign. Like I think it's been a really good title reign.
Exactly what I was just going to comment on. That was number 20. He's defended this title 20 times. That's absurd.
I was thinking of that today. It's really hard to book title reigns like across companies. Whenever you see wrestling companies, like they always say like the more interesting part is someone like chasing the title or working their way up to get to the title. But like there's been numerous people who've had like no offense to him, but like Hangman Page, like his approach to the title was way better than him being champion. Not saying that him being champion was bad, but the build to him becoming champion was more interesting. But they've made Orange Cassidy's title reign like really good. Like they've done a really good job booking him as champion.
And the way that, I mean, they played up him with his hurt hand, and they kept mentioning like the wear and tear on his body from from the defenses. I thought that was really cool to play it up that way too.
Yeah, I love when they do that. When like a champion who's defended a whole bunch, they point out that, oh, he's defended it so many times, it's getting to be more difficult every time, just based on the number of defenses. Not even I like it.
Now, who do you think becomes the next?
I don't know. I was thinking about that. That's a hard one because I'm assuming it's going to be a heel because it's Orange Cassidy, so it's probably going to be a heel. It's probably going to be someone who like takes advantage of his injuries or something. Right. But I can't think of who it could be. The only person I thought of was Kip Sabian, but I don't know if he would win the title. I don't know. Who do you think?
Well, I have two theories. One, if there's no opponent announced, excuse me, let me step back here. If he still has the belt by All In, I think they'll keep it like a mystery opponent, and it will be like somebody from someone from Europe, like a big European, maybe even an indie European wrestler. But I think they would dethrone him just because it was All In. Yeah, it's the All Atlantic. Nope, it's the International Championship. Excuse me.
It leveled up. You can't forget that it leveled up.
Yes, I forgot.
Thanks to Shazam.
Thanks to Shazam. I would never thought I would hear those words. Now, I understand that's a really long time. I could totally see him losing it at Double or Nothing, though. Like, and if he would lose the Double or Nothing, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't think of, because he's made I was going to call it the All Atlantic title now.
Yeah,
he's made the international title like pretty meaningful. Like it's ahead of like the TNT title now.
Totally.
So the person who beats him has to be, at this point, good enough for it. It can't be like if it had happened, 2 months ago, it could have been, anyone basically.
Yeah.
But now, because it's more established as like a, kind of like a workhorse title, it would have to be someone who could take that role. And I don't know who that is.
I mean, I hate to say it because it's not somebody new, but I mean, Pac was a good champion.
Yeah, he was. And I think that would be really cool if they went to, like they're talking about All In. That would be really cool if he got to, either compete for it or defend it at All In. That'd be really cool.
Oh, yeah, you could do that. Like, have something between Double or Nothing Forbidden Door between him and Orange Cassidy, and then have Orange lose it, and then have him defend it over there in front of. I mean, the news broke today: 60,000 pre-sale.
Right. So and like the prices are out. Like a lot of the time when they have pre-sales for events, like only half the people buy tickets or whatever because Ticketmaster doesn't tell you the cost, right? So you get there and you're like, oh, these tickets are way more than I want to spend, so you just don't buy tickets. But like the prices are out, so people get a chance to look at them and figure out what they want to do before they buy.
Oh. I didn't realize that. That's really cool.
So I think it's actually going to be more likely that someone buys than not.
Yeah.
If you know what what tickets are going to be available and what the costs are going to be, and you're more likely to buy than if you didn't know and then you get there and you're like, oh, $500, I don't want to pay that, and you just leave.
Yeah, because you can even set like your expectation, like, okay, I'm going in, I only want to spend, $50 to $100.
Right. And then
you can set your slider.
So these sections I can sit in, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you could set your slider and look for tickets all day. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
But so yeah, just if you do the general math, if all those pre-sales, and not everyone is going to be 2 tickets, there obviously some people will buy 5, some people buy 1.
Right.
But if you just do the general simple math, which that's 120,000 tickets.
Right. I mean, even if half those people buy tickets, right? That's say 30,000 people buy tickets, but they buy an average of 2. That's at least 60.
Right. Exactly.
And that's if only half the people buy anything. And that's 60 in like the pre-sale. Then it would have to go, if there's anything left, to like a regular sale.
Right.
So I feel like they're going to get, I mean, it looks like from the what's it called? The seating charts they've released. Like it looks like they're going to have everything available. There isn't like a big area blocked off or anything. So it looks like they're going to try to sell, 90,000 plus.
That's my call. As I was going to go on record today, and May 5th when they go on sale and we find out we can have the record scratch, I'll eat it again. Putting my money on it.
I think they can do it. I don't know if they'll do it. I don't know if they'll do it in pre-sale, but I think they'll do it like by the show, because if they if they sell 60,000 in pre-sale and then they start announcing matches and like hyping it up, and then people who might not have registered be like, oh, this thing sounds good. That's, maybe you're not diehard fan, be like, oh, this sounds pretty cool, and then I think they'll eventually get the sellout.
Right. And no matter when, it don't matter if it sells out 10 minutes after the event starts, as long as that last ticket is sold, it will sell out. Seriously.
Yeah.
But it's looking a very good chance that a lot of tickets are going to be sold for that. So
yeah. And how great is that going to look on TV when there's, even if, 80,000, say it's not 100% sold out, but still 80,000, right? Like that's going to look amazing.
And from what they're not saying the word pay-per-view with this. So imagine if they give that to Europe and then we get it on free TV.
Right. Yeah, that'll be a huge like moment for AEW.
Right. I mean, anyways, we don't know anything about that yet. We're still talking about Bandido and Orange Cassidy.
Yes. Good match.
Great match.
Bandido, and it was a bit, I think, I forget, maybe someone mentioned, I'm not sure, but it was a bit more of a, like Bandido was less of a high flyer in this match.
Yeah, he was.
Which I liked. Like he has various styles. He doesn't just have to fly. Like he can wrestle. He used a lot of like strength type moves, like that one arm suplex, and that
was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was good. I like him. I think he's really good.
Yeah, and that's talking about any of these luchadors could take this title. I totally forgot. Like, I mean, we have Jalistico, Roosh,
Commander,
Vikingo. El Gringo del Loco or whatever his name is.
And
now.
what about like Jay White? Like Jay White could take it.
Oh
like,
yeah, or Jay White. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just like it could feasibly be anyone, right? Because Orange is kind of just having matches at this point. Even someone like Ethan Page, or I don't know.
Oh, I'd love to see Ethan with that.
That'd be really cool. Yeah.
But anyways, Orange Cassidy he retains.
Yes.
And that's his 20th defense, so it's going to be very interesting to see. The next time we see him is probably going to be in the next week or two. So
yes,
it's going to be interesting who's next.
And I enjoyed him trying to put sunglasses on Bandido with the mask on.
That was hilarity. Obviously, there's no ears to catch their ends of the glasses, so they just kept falling off. It's great. Right after the match, Darby and Jack Perry had little confrontation backstage.
But before that confrontation backstage, there was possibly the funniest segment of the night.
I forget what that was.
It was Renee talking to Adam Cole, and Adam Cole did a good job. But then Orange Cassidy just walked in, going, "Hey, are you gonna interview me?"
Yes,
which was amazing.
I forgot that's when that happened. That was And then she's like, "Well, no, we were talking about this thing that happened. We're trying to get to the bottom of it." He just goes, "Oh," and then he walked away.
And Bandido goes, "Oh."
Yeah, I forgot about Bandido did it too. That was amazing.
That was great.
It was Orange Cassidy he's a national treasure.
Yes, he's awesome.
Oh, he's so good.
Then Renee again with Darby and Jack Perry.
Yes, then Renee again.
Renee all over the show.
She was. She is obviously I think officially the backstage interviewer.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I'm not saying that like she's very good at that, but would you rather see her in like a I don't even know if she wants to do it, but like a podcast setting, like to get like in depth with people?
Yeah, I mean she can do a lot, so she does a great job at her backstage interviews, but it does seem like she could be doing more. Maybe she doesn't want more. I don't know.
Exactly. That's what. Yeah.
But yeah, she's doing a great job, and her podcast, like when she does her own podcast, that's really good.
So. It's very good. It is. Well, Darby and Jack Perry kind of, well, obviously they were setting up something that was going to happen later.
Yes.
Kind of had a truce.
Yes.
It worked well. I didn't hate it, but
yeah, I kind of liked it only because, like I mentioned last week, they that 4-way promo, everyone kind of just attacked Jack Perry. Like every one of them was just like, I don't actually. So it was kind of, it made a bit of sense for Darby to be like, hey, maybe that was a little much because they're both faces. Like it was a little weird that like even the face was piling on Jack Perry. So it made sense.
But yeah, that was set up for something that happens a little bit later in the show.
Yeah.
But we had our new favorite person, Double J versus Dax Harwood. And I mean, what a professional wrestling match. Like,
yeah,
this
for
was
sure.
Old school, and it was fun. Bret Hart would have probably liked it.
Yes, but though you mentioned when it was actually on that Bret Hart needs to come in and teach people how to apply the sharpshooter.
He needs to have a class, just sit people down,
just like a sharpshooter class, just to be like, now listen.
Yeah, Tony Khan, just like, it doesn't have to be on TV. Bret can show him, just like let him explain, because it's not been shown well on AEW television.
It's odd because it looks like a pretty like straightforward move, but a lot of people do it wrong. Like not just in AEW, like there's been like WWE guys. Like I remember The Rock did the sharpshooter a lot, and every single time he did it, it was wrong. Like I don't know why, but like maybe Bret just did it so well that everyone else's looks bad in comparison. But
that's true.
It looks like it should be a really easy move, but almost everyone doesn't look great when they do it.
Didn't you say that there's the story that whenever the Montreal Screwjob was happening, he was coaching Michaels to do it because he thought he was doing it wrong?
Yeah. He was telling him like, no, cross my legs over this way. Like, well, he was like...
Meanwhile.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Anyway.
That's how much belief Bret Hart had in that company that they weren't going to screw him.
And he's still there.
Yes.
Or no, he went back. I'm sorry.
Yes, he went back.
He did leave.
He did leave.
He went back.
That's right.
Anyways,
Jeff Jarrett won a match.
Yes, and it was a heel win, and it was great.
Yes, and Jeff Jarrett was super over. Like the crowd loved Jeff Jarrett. They were really into him.
Everybody loves Jeff Jarrett now. Like me and you were jokingly texting back and forth. Not jokingly, we were texting back and forth, and like he might be like one of the most important signings in AEW history.
I'd say he's at least like top 10.
Absolutely.
And like once you get like, you know, Punk and Danielson and Adam Cole and Sting, like he's like the next tier of like, he's been great.
And I mean, just look at the production value has gone up. Now I understand they hired that ex WWE producer,
right?
Too, but I mean, me and you used to complain on here like that was a weird time for a commercial break,
right?
They shouldn't have cut there. Like it now looks like a very highly produced show,
right? Yeah,
in a good way.
Yeah,
and Jeff Jarrett has a lot to do with that.
And they're touring, like they're going to cities they haven't been to before. Like for a while it seemed like they were just going to like the same 10 places,
right?
But now they've branched out a lot. And speaking of branched out, Tony Khan had an announcement.
Yes, he did. Well, he announced the Owen tournament 20 for 2023. I'm sorry, not the 23rd Owen tournament. The Owen tournament for 2023. And the finals will be held on Saturday in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Which of course is a house show, and I'm sure that they would do it at a house show.
Right.
In Calgary. Why would they televise that? I mean, AEW doesn't have a TV show on Saturdays.
I know. I mean, there's rumors of one.
Yes, I wonder if that happened to. Yeah, I wonder if that might turn into a TV show.
Yeah. So
that's really cool, though. Having it
super cool
in Calgary is really cool.
Okay, so we're saying it right now. Tony Khan, I don't care what the penalty price is. Bret Hart has to be there.
Yes.
You pay WWE for his appearance.
Right. If he gets fined or like whatever, or they break his contract and he loses $1 million because they broke his, just pay. Just pay it.
Yeah. Just tell him. Like, they've screwed him and his family over beyond a bajillion times.
Right.
Give him a moment. He has not had an actual moment since he returned.
Yeah. Yeah. He has to be there. He has to be there.
And not like, oh, he's here, and it's like you see pictures of him backstage a week later. No, he needs to be
he needs to like give out the trophy or be the guest timekeeper or something. Like he needs to.
Oh yeah, give him like something like that. Let him be. Oh, that would be incredible. Yeah, he needs to be there. Anyways,
100%.
Anyways, and you're going to get to see some of the matches at Forbidden Door.
Yes,
I will be attending.
I will be attending Forbidden Door. I don't know if I mentioned this to anybody else previously, but I will be at Forbidden Door. So he did say, it said like they're doing something at Double or Nothing, but I think it sounds like they're just announcing the brackets or something, right? At Double or Nothing. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, it sounded like it didn't sound like it was starting. Maybe a qualifier. Tony likes tournaments, so maybe
like qualifiers or something.
Matches. Yeah, but. Yeah, they're doing a whole. Canada's getting a lot this summer.
Yeah, because he said the tournament's basically happening in Canada. They're in Canada for like 3.5 weeks or something. So they could do the whole tournament in 3 weeks.
You're gonna get.
That'll be great.
Yeah, you're gonna get some good stuff.
And Double J, nice job bringing it all to Canada. Good for you.
Heck yeah, that's unreal. We had a little segment with Wardlow and Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
And I don't buy it yet, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, it was a little weird. Arn Anderson said that Wardlow was going to lead them into the new millennium, which is like the year, Wardlow's not be wrestling in the year 3000.
3000.
I feel like Arn Anderson temporarily forgot it wasn't like 1998. And like
probably. Well, see, that's why I don't buy it yet, because Arn is too out of touch, but I understand why he's there.
Right.
Wardlow, this is my problem with Wardlow and his promos. He's either screaming at you when he should just be talking, or someone embarrasses him or annihilates him, and he just is like real chill and like he'll smirk about it.
Right. Yeah.
Like
That's a
he
good
needs to
point.
be opposite. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, get mad, get fired up when it's time to go. Become that, but also show them who you are. Like he can like speak.
Right. Yeah, that's a good
I don't
point. He
know.
also tries to throw in his Wardlow's world catchphrase. He tries to. If I feel like it's
Exactly.
forced, like he forces it into, and yeah, it's not working.
Yeah,
But you're right. He
it's
does
not.
have like the foundation of ability to cut promos. He's just not
Yes,
doing it.
and again, nothing against Arn because Arn did his job in that he hit the points on
Right.
basically what they were starting, what who Wardlow is, blah blah blah. It's just the destination to get there. Like Arn is just like you said, new millennium. He probably thought, man, this is gonna rock him, and then we were like, that's
Yeah. That's probably
80s.
something he did. Like, I was joking when I said he forgot what year it was. I'm sure he
Yeah,
didn't. But like, it's probably that's something he said in a promo 20 years ago, 25 years
right.
ago that worked really well. And like, he was just like, I'm gonna try it again when like not even thinking that like, oh yeah, now it doesn't make sense anymore. Like,
Yeah, 900 plus years have to pass. Like, yeah, I don't know, Arn. Uh, but again, Christian comes out.
yes,
Less is more.
yes.
Nobody.
Everybody really wants this Christian promo, and he's gonna make you wait for it.
Yes, and it's Christian Luchasaurus. Sorry, Luchasaurus.
Yes.
Uh, Christian is. I mean, he is the meat and potatoes of that whole thing,
And I like
and
what
it's
they did
awesome.
where Christian walked away, but Luchasaurus didn't want to walk away. Like he wanted to go, and Christian kind of had to
Yes,
pull him back. That was cool.
yes, yes. Oh, Christian is. Oh
Whenever he
man,
does cut
so
this
good.
promo on Wardlow, it's going to be devastating. So
Yes.
I can see why they're waiting to like establish
Oh,
Wardlow a bit more.
okay. Elephant in the room. Are we gonna see Edge and Christian, or Adam Copeland and Christian Cage
I really hope so.
together?
I mean, they were together at a Leafs game recently,
Yes.
so that was cool. Edge recently gave an interview saying that like, oh, he wants to keep wrestling, but he knows his time is something like, oh, he knows his time is running out. He doesn't have that much time left, and he doesn't want to be a guy who hangs on for too long.
Yes.
But his contract apparently runs out like this year for WWE. So I don't know. And whenever you see people talking about this online, there's a lot of WWE fans online, right? So they're always saying, "Oh no, it'd be cool. It'd be more likely for Christian to come to WWE."
Right.
But like, we don't know what Christian. First of all, we don't know what Christian's contract is. We don't know how long he's signed
Exactly.
for. But second of all, like Christian's never been treated that well. He's treated way better in AEW than he ever
Right.
was in WWE. Like Edge would come to AEW and be treated well, guaranteed. Right. But you don't know what's going to happen to Christian. Like, are they going to make him the little, flunky again like they did last time? He's never been treated equally to Edge, whereas in AEW they would be treated equally. So I don't know. It'd be really cool. I don't know if it's going to work out. I don't know if like how contracts work or timing works, but it'd be really cool.
And okay, my question to you is, if it happens, do you give everybody, like we have the the Hardys now, do you give them Edge and Christian, or do you have them feud?
I mean, it'd be really cool to see Edge and Christian, or Adam and Christian, or whatever they're going to call themselves,
right,
against the Hardys, or not even in a match, just like in a promo or just in the same ring together, or like them against FTR would be really cool, or them against the Young Bucks would be really cool.
Oh, all those would be incredible.
But also a Christian Edge feud would be great because they could do it properly this time, because Christian could actually do something, as opposed to when they did it in WWE and it didn't really work out. Either way, either one is cool. I'm fine with either.
Same here, but I could just see Christian like having his music hit and the crowd going nuts, like Edge's face be like, oh my god, and like he like runs down and embraces him and then just like pushes him away and goes, like, just then the character hits.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you had to follow me here.
Yeah.
I've been trying to shake you for 20 years. Like,
yeah.
Oh, it would be so
That would be good. That'd be good.
It would be so good. Anyways. Sorry, we're trying to stay on pace tonight.
Yes, we're trying to kind of get through this.
Yes. We had Sammy and MJF backstage, and probably the second most hilarious skit of the night. I will say I laughed out loud. It was hilarious. I loved every second of it.
I like them trading gifts. I like him giving him a vest, him giving him a scarf. That was fun.
Incredible. It was, the whole thing was just great and
Yes.
amazing. And then I don't know. There's going to be a lawsuit, I believe. RJ City, unjust attack.
Yes, I was fully on board with the BCC, and then they attacked poor RJ, and now I don't know. Now it's this plus what they did later. I don't know. I can see them really trying to make the BCC heels, but like, who does everybody love? Let's have them attack him.
Right. Renee's gonna have, it's gonna be hell for her at home this week.
Yeah.
RJ's
gonna be upset. They're friends.
They possibly, maybe no more.
Maybe not anymore. Yeah. I mean, if someone's husband punched me in the face, maybe I wouldn't be friends with them either.
Right. Yeah. So for no reason. Totally uncalled for, Mox.
Yes. But it worked. It did what
totally
it needed to do.
Yeah. That was the flip of the switch.
Yeah.
Instantly hate.
Now everyone's like, oh yeah, we hate them. I forgot.
Yes. And it was done so well.
Yeah, for sure.
That we talked about that segment 9,000 times longer than it actually was.
Right. And it was great because you didn't see them come in. RJ was just talking, all of a sudden he just got like blindsided. That was cool.
Yes. Now on the other show, you would have been showed an immediate instant replay.
Yes.
Then they would have explained it while it was being replayed again.
Yes, they would have explained who RJ City was and what he was doing, even though you already knew who he is.
Right. Yeah. Unbelievable. Anyways, moving right along. Sammy versus Darby. Very fun match. I'm in the camp of I liked the ending. So I'm just gonna go right for it. I know
it was a little weird to me. I thought it was a little weird. Why did you like it?
Because it was a DQ.
Yeah.
That's
I thought it was weird because like nobody actually hit anyone, right? He just like, it was a DQ for like holding the skateboard.
Right. It was like the fake, it
was like the Eddie Guerrero ending to a match. Right.
Yeah. Sammy took the fake bump and the ref turns around to see what happened and he's holding the board that he caught. It's genius.
Yeah. But, I just feel like there's a bunch of times when like people get hit behind the ref's back.
Oh, absolutely.
And the ref doesn't do anything. So like it's weird that he did something this time, but referees are inconsistent, I guess. So.
And it plays into the heel win.
Right.
Or not the heel win, but they thought they were going to win.
Right.
Because then, Sammy, it was going to be Sammy and MJF. Sammy was going to lay down for the title. And as they were yapping along, Tony Schiavone has never been happier.
Yeah, I know.
He played this so well.
That was good.
And it was great how Taz and Excalibur kept talking and he just kept going, oh, Tony, oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that was it. It sounded a lot more realistic than if they'd done it any other way. Yeah.
It was really good.
And I like how Tony Khan does this because he knows that people are sick of like the authority figure coming out and changing matches. Yes. And I think he knows that he's not great on camera. So he knows he's not going to come out and do like a live thing because that wouldn't work. So he gets Tony Schiavone to do it, and that works out well.
Yes. He's so awkward.
It's like at least this announcement he did himself. Usually, like Adam Cole does it or something. But...
Right. And it was at least pre-taped.
Yeah.
He did very well on the pre-tape. He just wasn't yelling and his eyes weren't wandering while it was. Anyways.
But yeah, 4 Pillars match likely coming up.
Yes, because before that, we're getting a tag match this Wednesday between it's going to be Darby and Jack Perry versus Sammy and MJF. And there's stipulation, if MJF and Sammy cheat in any way, it becomes a 4 Pillars match.
Or if they lose. If they lose or cheat. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Or if they lose. Which means they're 1,000% winning this match, right?
Okay. Because in wrestling, when you announce that something's going to happen, that thing never happens.
Right. So yeah, that's how we're going to get the Fatal 4-Way.
My thinking is Sammy's going to cost MJF because they had that skit later where like MJF got in the car and didn't put Sammy in the car. And I think Sammy's going to cost MJF and then be like, no way, I said I would lay down for you in a singles match. I didn't say anything about laying down for you in a 4-way match. And that's how he's going to get out of like MJF cut him a check to lay down for him. He's going to say, I'm not going to, I said I'd lay down for you. I didn't say I'd lay down for Darby or Jungle Boy.
Now, I obviously we're not to the fatal 4-way yet, but I hope they make this some sort of like elimination.
Yeah, I hope so too. I always like elimination ones better.
And me too. And if the title is going to change hands, I hope they eliminate MJF first.
Yeah, that's always fun. Yeah, that's always fun that it happens. Yeah.
Yes. Please.
I never liked the 4-way or triple threat matches when it's not an elimination, because I know that they have that thing to try to make the champion at a disadvantage where they're like, he doesn't have to even have to be pinned. But I always think that's cheesy, especially in this instance, because if any of these other guys won, it would be their first world title. So yeah, they'd have to beat and like to have, Jungle Boy pin Darby and win the world, like that seems lame. So they have to do it better. Yeah.
And the other thing I always thought about too is like in that stipulation, like if me and you, like if wrestling was real and we were in this match, I'd be like, Rick, look, dude, as soon as the bell rings, I'm going to jump on my back. You pin me, you give me the first shot at the title.
Right.
And then everyone, it's like, why, what the hell just happened? And then you're like, oh, that's how the real world works. We just got both y'all in the back. That's what happened.
Yeah.
So anyways, it looks like we're going to get the fatal 4-way at Double or Nothing.
Yeah, and that'll be fun.
And that'll be very fun. Just real quick, you were referencing Sammy and the end of the show. Did you happen to watch Rampage?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. Then we'll talk later.
All right.
Adam Cole and Chris Jericho had a segment. First and foremost was awesome.
Yes.
But got even more incredible because I'm still speechless on who showed up.
Yes, that was incredible.
Roderick Strong is All Elite.
Yes.
And
now, did you think it said SRS when he came out? Not to cut you off. When I first saw on the screen, I was sure it said. I was like, is Sean Ross Sapp coming out? Like, what is going on?
You brought that up to me. It didn't even register.
I immediately thought that. I was trying to figure out who it was. And I was like, that says SRS. No, it's not going to be Sean Ross Sapp. And then
that would have been awesome. Like the place someone would have lit the place on fire. Like if that was the big moment.
Yes. He just comes out and is like angrily tweeting at people.
Right. Yeah. But Roderick Strong.
That was cool. No one expected this.
I mean, everybody, including WWE, thought he was still under contract.
Right.
Like that's just you.
He was still on their website.
Yeah. You screen capped it to me.
He was still on their roster on their website. What apparently happened, I sent it to you earlier. I don't know if you saw. Apparently his contract ran out in like December. And he just kind of didn't say anything. And it was December, right? So that's when all that stuff was happening with like Vince and everything. So I think just no one noticed it. And like he didn't say anything and they didn't so like he just like was quiet. And like and Tony Khan, whenever he signed, I don't know if he signed him in December or like he kept it quiet and held on to it for a long time, like waited for a good moment to have him come out.
Right. And like it was just so well done.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been that surprised. I mean, this not to be funny, but I'm going to show my age here, but like this is pre-internet surprise because the internet spoils everything.
Right.
In pro wrestling, I have not been this surprised since before the internet existed.
Yeah, I agree.
Seriously.
Because even when like Hall and Nash went to WCW, like I remember being, again, now also showing my age, I read in the paper, like there used to be like a wrestling like rumors thing in the newspaper on like Sunday afternoons or something, the Sunday paper. I read that like their contract expired and they were going to WCW. And so I remember like even when they showed up, I knew that they were no longer with WWF. But this, like every other time, either it's spoiled for you or at least someone's contract, like Adam Cole. Like it was a surprise when he showed up, but you knew his contract was up. Everyone knew like he was leaving. His contract was up with NXT. Maybe he'd resign, but you knew his contract was up. In this sense, like everybody, like all the reports said he was signed to like 2024. Like nobody knew.
That's so incredible. Like, first off, what kind of ship are you running that a person's contract runs out and you assume they still work there?
Didn't that happen with Malachi?
It could have. I don't
no,
know.
what happened with him is that he was NXT guys have a 30-day non-complete, and the WWE like if you're on main roster you have 90-day, and they called him to the main roster, and he was on the main roster for like 6 months or something, and they didn't change his contract. He still had his NXT contract.
Oh.
So when they released him, they thought he was out for 90 days, and he showed up on Dynamite. They're like, "Oh no, let's check." And they checked his contract. We're like, "Oh what? Well, we didn't fix that." And like,
wow, that's incredible.
You can tell a company is huge, and like,
if stuff like that happens,
has a bunch of like backstage nonsense going on when like they don't realize that people's contracts are expired.
The whole thing, like, as this story was breaking, like in the past, well, since Wednesday night, I'm thinking, like, was he, like, were they paying him? Like, how is he just showing up at the performance center and them not realizing, like, hey, we haven't sent Roddy a check in 7 months.
Well, apparently he was injured recently, like a few months ago. He's been out for like a couple months. I think that the story I read online, I think what the story is, his contract expired in December, and I think he was still there for a little bit afterwards, like helping. Like he wasn't on TV, but he was like helping with training or something. So maybe that was a separate deal.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he had like a separate contract for helping with training people, and then that one expired too. And then he was injured, so he didn't go back on TV. So that no one thought, "Oh, let's check in his other contract." Yeah, it's
okay.
It was like
That's
a weird.
Genius, though.
Yeah, it was great how it worked out. And because he's like, I don't know, is he married to Marina Shafir or dating, whatever it is?
They're husband and wife.
They're husband and wife. Okay. I'm sure she probably told, like, he didn't even have to call Tony Khan to be like, hey, by the way, my contract's up. He probably just told her, and like she told Tony Khan, and then it's not even weird. Then it's not even, oh, why is Roderick Strong meeting with Tony Khan now? Like, no, like his wife's she works there. So
yeah, she could have just set that, or they could have just set that up as like, oh, I'm just, seeing how it's a local, not local, it's just a random talent meeting. Marina, come in my office, just make it seem like you randomly picked her, then the other talent doesn't even know. So,
and apparently they set it up to happen in Florida because he lives in Florida, so he didn't have to fly anywhere. That's incredible.
It's such that's skill right there.
Yeah, so good.
That's
Poor Bobby Fish.
Poor Bobby Fish. I was gonna get there. That's my next note. Dude sold out hard.
Yeah.
He chose the wrong horse in the race, man.
Yes, definitely.
And that's not an anti WWE rant right there. That is, you did the worst thing in wrestling. You burned a bridge. And
I love that he went to the rest of the Undisputed Era, Undisputed Elite, and was like, hey, why don't we all go to WWE? And not only did they say no, then the other guy he knew in WWE also left.
Right. And during that time, like, that was roughly about when all this went down. Wasn't that around when Strong's contract would have actually ran out anyway?
Right.
So he was probably like, yeah, Bobby, I might resign. Unbelievable.
So do you think we end up getting, I mean, no one knows Kyle O'Reilly's status. He's like I think he's pretty severely, he had like neck surgery or something, right?
Neck surgery, right.
So he could be out for a while. But do you think we get what we thought we would never get and get the Undisputed Elite versus the Elite at some point? Now that they can just replace Bobby Fish with Roderick Strong?
Oh, absolutely. That's going to happen now.
That would be really cool because that would be they really wanted to do that, and then everyone got hurt, so they couldn't.
Right.
But now they can. They just don't have Bobby Fish, and that's fine.
And that's totally fine. And see, the thing is like the Bucks being heel still, even though they're kind of like on the fence, but Adam Cole is major babyface right now, so that would actually help the Bucks get back on the other side of the fence.
Yes.
So that'd be
really cool. I wonder, because Bobby Fish has been working with New Japan. I wonder if how bad that bridge is burned. Like, could we have at least one like backstage segment at like Forbidden Door where they're all, maybe he won't work for AEW, but like, can they all just be in like a shot? Because that would be cool. like just to have them. And I think I don't know. I don't know Tony Khan obviously, but he's a guy he's such a wrestling nerd. I feel like he would would let that happen even if he doesn't like Bobby Fish. He'd be like that, like just as a wrestling nerd, because it'd be really cool.
Right.
I feel like he'd let it happen.
Yeah, I agree with that. He would definitely let that happen.
And it's so weird. Like it was weird when it was the other three guys, but now it's even weirder when like the NXT AEW Wednesday Night War, like those were the guys, like the Undisputed Era were the guys, like them and Keith Lee were the guys, like leading the NXT and they're all gone.
And they all work for AEW now.
Yeah.
And then like you said, like even people like Swerve was popular, but no one realized how good Swerve was.
Yeah.
And yeah, you said they reformed his group and they stink now.
Yeah. I heard that this is just a rumor, but I heard that like because NXT lost in the ratings to AEW, Vince kind of canned everyone. That was remember he demoted Triple H too?
Yeah.
I think he canned everyone because they lost in the ratings, but like it's not their fault. Like they're a third brand developmental show. Of course they're gonna lose to like a like AEW's top show. Like
right.
It doesn't mean none of them are any good. It just means you didn't put them on the right show. But anyway. Not everything is great in AEW because we still have QTV.
Yeah, my note is QTV is dumb. That's I picked up my phone. That's one of the few times I've ever done that in AEW history.
I really hoped that Hobbs would be gone from them, but apparently he's not.
I did like what he said before I checked out. Is when I was going by the book, none of this happened.
Right.
So obviously, the way I looked at it is they can get him to be a babyface when he destroys QT.
Right.
But then every monster is a babyface because Wardlow, unless they turn Wardlow heel.
Right, that's true. Well, Samoa Joe, but he's mostly ROH now. But yeah,
that's true. So that's just a little conundrum.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
But after that I quit listening, so it's just stupid to me.
There you go. Yeah, we've already spent time on it.
Yes. Jade
TBS championship match.
Jade versus Taya. I loved it. I thought it was great.
The match was good. The finish was weird. I didn't like the finish at all.
Well, now we have a story.
Yeah, I think it also the finish. I didn't
Jade
like how
cheated.
I didn't like how the finish was booked, but I think it didn't come off the way it should have because it kind of seemed like Jade was supposed to I don't know. She kind of just dropped her, and then the roll up was weird. It was I don't know. I didn't like it.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying, but I like the heel aspect of Jade using the tights.
Yeah,
I like that gives Jade a little bit of. I know she's supposed to be a heel, but I also know that everybody likes her.
Yeah.
But if you give people a reason to not like her, like if she starts just cheating,
right,
and then making these wins cheaper, like
right, yeah. I do like that they're extending this because it wasn't. Yes. I mean, if Taya's going to win the title, I don't think she was ready for it at this point. Right. Not wrestling wise, like obviously she's a good wrestler, but like not established.
Like coming right into the company.
Yeah, Jade's been TBS champion for so long that the person who beats her is going to be like immediately a big deal, and I feel like they need to have her on TV a bit more before they could have her be that person.
I totally agree.
Or they can just wait for Chris Statlander.
Or which that's what I want too, but
yes,
I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna get now.
Yeah, I feel like they'll do a rematch, probably a Double or Nothing between these two, between Taya and Jade. I feel like they'll have her like, but she gets some legal ruling that she is allowed to use the move or whatever, and then they'll have a rematch at Double or Nothing.
Oh, it'll be in her home. There'll be no jurisdiction. It'll be in Canada. Oh no, that would be
not Double or Nothing. No, Double. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be a cool loophole. But yeah, it's Double or Nothing's in Vegas.
Damn it! I thought I was smart for a second.
That would be a really cool loophole to be like, well, actually, we're in Canada. That lawsuit doesn't hold up. That'd be great.
Smart, Mark. That'd be incredible.
You're not actually licensed to practice law in this country, so sorry.
Oh, that'd be incredible. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about Jade. Oh, how do we get 60?
Yeah, I feel like now you have to.
Okay, I agree. Next question: whoever beats her, do they have to beat this? Like, do they have to beat the streak, or do they have to beat the days?
What?
Because someone like MJF doesn't wrestle as
Right. Yeah.
like she's wrestled 60 times. She's defended this title 60 or 50, sorry, uh, 55. She's defended this title 55 times,
Right.
or not
56 now,
quite
I think it is.
55,
Yeah.
right? But so there's that aspect, or do you go
But
by
what's the
how many
number of
days?
days? It's been
Right.
like what, 2 years now?
It's getting close if it's not.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. I just thought of that right now.
Yeah, because like
that'll
Orange
be a,
Cassidy's defended his title 20 times, but he hasn't been champion nearly as long.
exactly.
Yeah.
And just imagine if MJF defended that title 20 times, it'd be Roman Reigns level.
Right.
It's like seriously.
They'd have to make a brand new title.
Exactly, and then give it to Cody.
Not like anyone would ever do that. Just like say, hey,
Right.
this champion isn't defending the title enough. Rather than make him defend the title, let's just make a new one.
Yeah, and make it look like the title that somebody was trying to win, and then just put a big R logo on it. I won't even say their name.
Anyway, continuing
Anyways,
on.
yes.
Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter backstage with a little promo. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. They basically stamped their stake in the game that we're gonna get the outsiders and
Outcasts.
outcast. Sorry. Oh,
they are basically the outsiders, but yes,
they are basically the outsiders. We're gonna get the outcasts versus, Britt and Jamie. And who do you think their third is?
I don't know because maybe Sheeta. I don't know if she's injured. Sheeta would make
Right.
sense.
Yeah, but we haven't seen her in a minute.
You haven't seen her in a
So
while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Riho.
Riho does make sense, especially with, they've been making her.
Yeah, could be Riho.
Riho, I'll take Riho. Sky Blue was another one.
Yeah, that would work.
Willow would be sick too, but that Willow might be too new.
Yeah, I think probably Riho because she's been there a long time.
That's true. That's true. If we're going by actual pillars,
if you're going like originals, she's an original.
So yeah, that we're getting a nice long story out of this. I didn't think
I like it.
Yeah, I love it. I didn't think it would be this long, but I'm
and it hasn't. It's been good the whole time. Like it hasn't dragged or like. There was a couple of weeks where like the Outcast did the same thing, but only for like 2 or 3 weeks. But other than the rest of it hasn't dragged at all. Like it's been good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it looks like they're not actually allied with Jericho. That was just like a one-off.
Yes, and I'm totally happy with that.
Yeah.
Then we had main event time. Kenny Omega, our boy, Konosuke Takeshita versus Butcher and Blade.
Yes. Bryan Danielson on commentary.
And Bryan Danielson on commentary. That's
and right. He called him Man in the Mask, which I loved.
It was what a callback.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Danielson's, I think I said this last week. Every week he's better. I don't know how.
Yeah.
He's been wrestling for 20 years. And like every week somehow he's better at something. He's better in the ring. He's better on the mic. Like he somehow something gets better. And I don't understand how that's possible.
I totally agree with you. It's unbelievable. Again, when this match was made, obviously, you know where it's going. The Butcher and Blade have no chance of winning this match.
Right.
But it's what happened after.
Yes.
That did the match actually have a winner? Did Omega and Takeshita win? I can't even remember. Or was it chaos?
Yeah, no, I think Takeshita pinned. Yeah, Takeshita got the pin.
He hit his special move.
Yeah.
I can't think of what it's called.
Whatever it's called. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, Takeshita got the win.
And then Danielson grabs the mic and he says he sees a pro wrestler and an amateur in the ring, which I thought was a great line. And then he basically calls Kenny the amateur, which, it was beautiful.
And he screwed up a bit saying if he trained with the Elite, but then he was like, no, I mean if he trained with the BCC. But anyway, good point. If he trained with the BCC, he'd be better than if he's training with you guys. And I loved when he was just like, oh, but look at like Nakazawa and Brandon Cutler. These are the guys who hang out with you. You don't make them better. You just like make them jokes.
Right.
I like that.
It was because it was true though.
Yeah, I know.
Michael, it's true. It's hilarious, but it's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, that obviously the BCC attacks them, and Takeshita he took it hard.
It was he tried to stop it. He tried to stop.
Yes. He did try to play in the middle.
Yeah, he tried to help both sides.
Keep the peace.
Yes.
Wasn't happening.
No.
It was not happening. And then he got the screwdriver to the head this week.
Yes. BCC really establishing themselves as heels now. They attacked RJ. They attacked Takeshita. I mean, you can hit Don Callis all you want, but like,
right.
Not Takeshita. That's too far.
The two most beloved people in the company.
Yeah.
Got it within 20 minutes of each other.
Right. So do you think this means, is this Takeshita's going to ally fully with the Elite now because he got attacked with the screwdriver, or is this a Wheeler Yuta situation where he's like he appreciates the violence and wants to prove himself to them?
I think he's gonna align with the Elite, and Omega's gonna give him the cold shoulder, like you're not good enough, like you're okay.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
Like what he does, like with Hangman. Like Hangman's in the room, he won't even acknowledge he's sitting there.
Yeah.
I think he'll try to just keep big leaguing Takeshita,
right?
Because he wants his guy. He doesn't want Callis's guy,
right?
So,
yeah, I do feel like Takeshita's gonna join with the BCC because
same here.
I feel like Ibushi's coming, and he's gonna obviously ally with the Elite.
And I think that's how we're gonna see it. It's gonna be like backwards.
Yeah,
they'll make it seem like Ibushi's gonna join the BCC and Takeshita,
and they'll switch.
And they'll switch, right?
Yeah.
That's
another really good storyline. This is another really I love this Elite BCC stuff. It's great.
It is, and I didn't think that it would be this fun, and it's very fun.
Yeah, it's fun, and like the matches are good, the characters are all good, the storyline they're telling is good. Like it's all been good and like the people who's going to come back. I mean, Hangman hasn't actually allied with the Elite yet, right? So
true.
Whenever he comes back, there's going to be everything between him and Kenny. Like it's going to be good. Kenny still hasn't watched that match. He still doesn't know the Bucks let Hangman.
That's right.
Hit him. Like, yeah, it's all good. So many. This could go for a long time. We've complained about long feuds before, but this could go forever. Like they can have this go another year, and it would be good.
Well, I was just gonna say that's the thing. It's mainly we complain about Jericho doing it. It's because they're not that interesting. No offense, Chris.
Yeah.
Like, he's a good wrestler. He's good at what he does, but there's actual built-in years of story here.
Right. Like the Elite has they have like a lore attached to them now.
Yeah.
That they could always use. I saw someone I mentioned. I don't know. Not I mentioned. I heard someone mention. I don't remember who it was now. It's weird that AEW, because I mean they've only been around for like 4 years, but they can capture like years just based on the guys, like the Elite guys who've been involved with each other for so long. They can capture like the nostalgia feeling you get when you watch a WWE thing and they call back to something that happened 10 years ago. Like they can do that. They can call back to stuff that happened before AEW and make it mean something.
It's very true. That's a great point. That's awesome though.
They like the Elite are really good at this. Like they're good at like weaving stories together and bringing back things that you only mentioned it briefly before, but it mattered. And like, it's great.
Like even like on the latest episode of BTE, or it might even been last week, at the very end, Matt Jackson was on his like Stairmaster at home, and he was humming a song, and someone figured out like what song it was, and then there was just like all like the internet exploded after like he was humming it because of this, and I had no idea what people were talking about, but apparently this song was in like an old episode of BTE, and that's whenever so and so was on it, and it was literally like I was catching up on a show. Right. Like
they're smart when they throw in stuff. They throw stuff like that all the time, and it's great.
Yeah, it was so interesting because like if I didn't look into it, it would have meant nothing to me. You know what I mean? But that's all there though.
It's great because it has like it works on 2 levels. It works on like the level of like if you're a nerd like us who like pays extra close attention. Like you could just watch it on one level and be like, that was fun or whatever. That was a good match. but you can, if you're a nerd, you can like look into it and be like, oh, that move was the same thing he did. Like when Hangman and the Bucks were in the ring with each other recently. Like they stood in the same position that they did like 2 years ago. Like little nerdy stuff like that. You can go, oh yeah, like point that out. And it kind of not only rewards you for paying attention like in the moment, but it rewards you for watching previously.
Right.
Which is something that WWE like never does. Like they forget about stuff like the day after it happens, like the moment after it happens, right? Where like you have no reward for like watching the show for years. Whereas if you're someone who's watched AEW from the beginning, like they reward you for that, being like, hey, this is just like that time, you know, in 2020 when this happened. Like it's cool.
And I mean, you brought up a good point, and we'll just say it one more time. Remember when Cody lost WrestleMania? Remember that?
Yes.
That was a big payoff, right? What a time to be a fan.
Now, speaking of payoffs, before we go,
yes.
I don't know. Are you done with Dynamite? I'm done.
I'm done with Dynamite.
Quick thing came up today that the Saturday show that's obviously happening. The rumor, pretty confirmed rumor, is that when you book your first episode of a Saturday show in the United Center in Chicago, there's a reason you booked the United Center in Chicago because
100%
because CM Punk's coming back. Now, the rumor that came out today was that there'll be another debut or return on that show. Who do you think it is?
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna die on this hill because I posted it on Twitter. I think it's Andrade.
All right.
And
I can see that.
I have nothing to back that up. He's been quiet. Like the LFI has really been taken off, especially in Ring of Honor. And Roosh has been claiming about how great of a leader he is.
Yeah.
And again, talk about what you just said with the Elite AEW. Like that's a perfect little hint that if you're paying attention, like, oh, wait a minute, Roosh technically isn't the leader. You know,
right.
Andrade is the leader.
Right.
But he's telling us how great he is. Like it's been very interesting.
Right.
So I think that's gonna be my guess is Andrade.
I hope that it's either Miro or Chris Statlander because I would like to see either of them back. That'd be cool.
That would be sick.
But I don't know because
go ahead.
That would be cool because I want to see them back, but like Miro's been gone for so long, like I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if like he's ever going to be back. I don't know what's happening. And Chris Statlander, like it depends on if she's better, healthy. But either of those would be really cool for me to see.
Sorry, you heard my Alexa during that.
Yes.
So that's why I was like, just go ahead.
Yes.
She was reminding me that wrestling starts in 15 minutes.
Well, there you go. But it doesn't.
Well, no, see? That's terrible because I usually fall asleep.
Makes
so
sense.
I have it set for every Friday at 9:45. And I forgot to shut it off. But anyways, that's who I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Andrade.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Some people are thinking Goldberg. It's not gonna be Goldberg.
I don't think it's gonna be Goldberg. And I mentioned before, the only way I think Goldberg would work in AEW is if he was willing to like just lose to like Hobbs or Wardlow. And I don't know if he would.
Exactly. And I don't think, I mean, if he would take the Sting treatment, I don't think I don't know the guy, obviously, but I don't think he's as humble as Sting. And I don't think he would just mentor somebody.
Yeah, apparently he wants a retirement match, right? So if he wants a retirement match and it's going to be like a passing the torch retirement match, then I'd do it. If he's willing to come in, if he's willing to come in and like lose to Wardlow or Hobbs or something like that, that's fine. But if he wants like a big send off where he's like a winner, I wouldn't do it because like how does that help AEW?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and there's that chance in this. I mean, you know, you could call me, you know, looking into this a little too much, but there's also a chance that the crowd, an AEW crowd, just does not want him.
Right. So, like that could work out really badly.
Yeah, imagine like him coming out and like this crowd's just like, oh, boo.
Right.
Or just nothing at all.
Especially if it looks like he's going to win. Like if it looks like they're putting him in a match that he's going to win, then the people would not react nicely to that.
Yeah. And, you know, the AEW crowd is not as crazy as like an ECW crowd, but they would tell you if they didn't enjoy something,
right?
like
Yeah,
the ECW crowd, and there's a chance that if he would show up, it could go over bad.
yeah. And I mean, and like logistically too, like if it's going to be Goldberg, he's not just going to show up. They're going to do a whole thing. If they ever did sign Goldberg, like that would not just be oh yeah, he's going to be on the same show CM Punk's at. Like the person who's going to be on that show is not at the level of like a CM Punk. Like no offense to Andrade or Miro or anyone else,
Right.
like Punk's going to be the story of that show, and they're just going to
Right.
have someone else come back that day just because it'll be cool.
Yeah, and going back to what you were saying, like if they would sign Goldberg, and I'm not joking when I say this. I always say Tony Khan likes pro sports. He'd probably hold a signing like you do for an athlete.
I agree.
Because Goldberg, I mean, ESPN would probably show up for that. Like Goldberg signs with somebody that's not WWE.
Yeah, that'd be like a big
retirement.
thing. They wouldn't just do a random appearance.
Now that would be totally awesome. If you're just like the lights go out and then all of a sudden Goldberg shows up on the stage like Sting did that. I was like, that would be. But you're right. You don't do that with someone to that caliber.
Right.
You make as much spectacle out of that as you can to promote the company.
Right. Because that's what AEW would be getting out of it. Like he's not going to put on a great match, right? But like you're gonna, it's the publicity you want.
Yeah, you're just getting his name.
Yeah.
You know. But I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else this week?
No, I think I'm good.
Perfect. On that note, we'll close up shop here. Again, at Elite City Pod on all social media.
Yes.
Like, follow, subscribe, comment, rate, all of it.
All the good stuff.
Tweet it. Pass it along. Write it down on a piece of paper if you're old school.
Doesn't matter. Text people, call people, email
use
people.
Your landline.
There you go.
If you even have one. If you know what that is. Anyways, that is about all. If you haven't watched Rampage, watch Rampage. It's really good.
All right, I will.
So, also watch Ring of Honor. It was also really good.
Nice.
On that note, until next week, later.